the company has taken all feasible steps to ensure that the shareholders are provided an opportunity to participate in the annual general meeting and vote. Adequate video conferencing facility and live webcast of the proceedings of this meeting have also been provided. The requisite quorum is present, and therefore I call the meeting to order. The register of directors and the key managerial personnel and their shareholding and the register of contracts or arrangements in which directors are interested are available. This will remain accessible to the members for inspection electronically if they so desire. I wish to introduce, for the benefit of new members, my colleagues on the board of the company. Shri Y.P. Trivedi, Dr. R.A. Mashelkar, Professor Deepak Jain, Shri Adil Zanulbhai, Shri R.S. Gujral, Dr. Shumit Banerjee, Srimati Arundhati Bhattacharya, Shri K.V. Chaudhary, Srimati Neeta Ambani, Shri Nikhil Meswani, Shri Hital Meswani, Shri P.M.S. Prasad, Shri P.K. Kapil. All the directors of the company are present at this meeting. Shri Alok Agarwal and V. Shrikant, CFOs, K. Sethuraman and Savitri Parekh, company secretaries, and the representatives of our statutory auditors and secretarial auditor are also present at this meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, notice dated 27th May 2021 convening this annual general meeting and a copy of the annual report for the financial year ended March 31, 2021 have already been circulated to the members of the company electronically. With your permission, I shall take them as read. The auditor's report on the standalone and the consolidated financial statements and the secretarial audit report of the company for the financial year ended March 31, 2021 do not contain any qualification, reservation, adverse remark, or disclaimer. Accordingly, the reports are not required to be read out as provided in the Companies Act 2013. Now, I will begin my formal address to all of you, my dear shareholders. My dear share owners, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. It gives me great pleasure to greet you all at the 44th Annual General Meeting of Reliance Industries Limited. It is the second year in a row that I missed the intimacy and the warmth of face-to-face interaction with you because of the COVID pandemic. However, the virtual format has enabled several lakhs of our shareholders to participate in this AGM from the safety of their homes. Friends, we are in the midst of a humanitarian crisis. Its scale, severity, and geographical spread are unseen in a century. It has filled the hearts of all Indians with enormous pain and grief. Several of our employees and shareholders have borne the brunt of this pandemic. Within our one large Reliance family, the suffering of any member becomes the suffering of all of us. Today, Neeta, I, and my colleagues on the board offer our heartfelt condolences to all those in our Reliance family who have lost their loved ones to this pandemic. I now request that all of us observe a minute of silence in the memory of the departed souls. Om Shanti. Esteemed shareholders, the company's accounts for the year ended 31st March 2021 have already been circulated to you. With your permission, I would like to take them as read. Our business performance and financial success since the last AGM have exceeded our expectations despite the pandemic. But I shall come to that later in my address. What has given me far greater happiness than our business performance is Reliance's humanitarian efforts during these exceedingly difficult times. I feel both proud and humbled to share with you that throughout the COVID crisis, our Reliance family has risen to the occasion with a sense of purpose and national duty. Our entire organization has become energized with the spirit of service. Every single employee has participated directly or indirectly in the fight against COVID and become a goodwill ambassador of Reliance. I'm sure our efforts of the last 1 year would have made our founding chairman, Shri Dhirubhai Ambani, proud, because the one common unifying thread that runs through everything we have ever done at Reliance is the spirit of care and empathy. We care for our employees and their families. We care for our customers, our shareholders, and our partners. We care for the country and the community. We care for the planet and the people. This is what the true Reliance spirit was, is, and will always be. I now invite Isha, Akash, and Neeta to tell us about our COVID missions of Reliance and the wonderful work done by all our colleagues.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Isha Ambani.
And I am Akash Ambani.
Last AGM, we were hopeful that by this time, this year, the pandemic would be behind us. And yet, this is the second time that we're meeting virtually. These have no doubt been very difficult times. But we've come together as a country, as a society, and as one Reliance family to rise above them.
Despite the challenges we have faced, when we look back at the year, we feel humbled and inspired that each and every person in our Reliance family went out of their way to help one another, much beyond the call of duty.
And we know that had our grandfather been with us today, he would be proud. This is the Reliance he always wanted to see. One where each person did their very best to help those in need and to be of service to our communities and our country. Many of our Reliance family members have fought this battle from the front lines. our retail store workers, telecom engineers, doctors, nurses, hospital staff. We have the deepest gratitude and highest admiration for each and every one of them.
They ensured our nation's fuel supplies are intact, digital connectivity is unaffected, and daily essential needs of millions of people are met safely. We are indebted to them for their service to our country, for their service to humanity.
And I'd like to share with you a couple of stories to highlight what some of our colleagues have done in this time. One of our Jio engineers, Mr. Dave, trekked 12 kilometers at 13,000 feet altitude in 10 feet of snow, can you imagine, through a totally non-motorable road to restore digital connectivity in the Spiti Valley.
When the cyclone hit Mumbai earlier this year, some of our Jio and retail stores faced indefinite power cuts. Our store manager, Rupesh, and so many others kept the stores running on minimum power consumption to ensure uninterrupted supplies to their customers.
And many of our very own frontline warriors contracted COVID themselves in the course of their duty. But their selfless courage has inspired us every moment of this fight. For over a year, Ricky Bindra, head of our corporate services, had been tirelessly organizing daily meals for the needy, setting up tie-ups for beds, medications, ventilators, oxygen, ambulances, and all of the vaccinations for our entire Reliance family. Last month, Ricky and his family were diagnosed COVID positive. Ricky himself was in the ICU for 30 days, completely paralyzed for 20 days, on a ventilator for 10 days. By the grace of God, he is okay and on the road to rehab and recovery. A salute to Ricky and countless other members of our Reliance family who have placed their country first, community next, family third, and self last in this hour of need. They are our real-life superheroes.
Thanks to their spirited efforts, millions of our fellow Indians have continued to work from home, shop from home, learn from home, and consult doctors from the safety of their homes in these tough times. Our colleagues personify the DNA of Reliance to care, unite, integrate, and empower.
Truly, Akash. And to tell us more about Reliance family's unified and tireless response to this crisis, let us now welcome the founder chairperson of the Reliance Foundation, our dearest mother, Mrs. Neeta Ambani.
Thank you, Isha and Akash. Esteemed shareholders, Namaskar. I hope that all of you and your loved ones are well and safe. The COVID-19 pandemic is a humanitarian crisis. It has tested the very spirit of humanity. But even in the darkest hour, our spirit has shone bright. We as a people have come together and fought this battle with immense empathy and compassion. Reliance Foundation, over the last 11 years, has always stood shoulder to shoulder with the people of India in every challenge, big or small, through good and bad times. We have tried to make a difference to the lives of 45 million Indians across the country. In the remotest villages and towns of India, we have found and created stories of hope, of change, of transformation. And so last year, when humanity was struck with the worst crisis in over 100 years, we did our best to help in whichever way we could, and did so urgently. While our top priority this year was COVID relief, we ensured that we continued all our other developmental work as well. We remained committed to our vision for education and sport for all. Within days of the outbreak, our 14 schools turned into digital schools. They became safe havens of positivity and learning for thousands of students who embraced virtual schooling with unimaginable enthusiasm. We have also worked very hard through these challenging times to bring our dream project, the Jio Institute, to life. Jio Institute is envisioned to be an exemplary academic institution with a world-class platform for research, innovation, and lifelong learning. It will prepare the next generation of global leaders who will significantly contribute to the advancement of India and the world. Despite the pandemic, I am pleased to announce that Jio Institute is all set to commence academic sessions at the campus in Navi Mumbai this year itself. This year, we also launched Reliance Foundation scholarships in artificial intelligence and computer science for undergraduates and postgraduates. Beyond education, sport has been another symbol of hope, a medium to delight and inspire the world in these times. In 2020, our champions, Mumbai Indians, brought in a lot of joy and cheer to millions by winning their 5th IPL trophy. I wish our team all the best for the upcoming second leg of the IPL 2021. Our football league, ISL, became the first, the longest, and the biggest sporting event to be held entirely in India with complete safety protocols during the pandemic. It took more than 1,600 people in 18 different biobubbles across 14 different locations in Goa to pull off Season 7 of the Indian Super League very successfully.